All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's talk about The Witcher 4 and the romance that's going to be happening in this game. Now, if you guys are unaware, for those of you maybe didn't read the books or whatever the case may be, Ciri is canonically bisexual. I know, wow, shocking. And Ciri is bisexual in the most basic form of being bisexual. Towards the end of the books, she's actually in love with a man, but that's neither here nor there. The activists don't want you to really know that. But ultimately, Ciri being bisexual is going to provide CD Projekt Red and every other activist journalist out there with all the ammo they need in the world to turn her fully gay. And this is what I genuinely believe is going to happen. They are going to absolutely make sure that her canon love interest in this Witcher 4 will most likely be a woman. Now, granted, I'm sure you'll have options for a man and whatnot if they really want to stick to the actual RPG elements. But I think canonically speaking, since they do decide which endings are canon and whatnot, I think they are going to go for a gay canon ending.
Sounds like drowners. Gonna need spicy mayo.
Okay.
Oil my blade. Witcher magic for every occasion. Killing monsters is what I do.
Okay, can you hurry?
Witcher! A vampire ate my mom!
A Dracula. Needs garlic butter.
Witcher, a ghoul!
Sesame glaze.
Bear man!
Honey mustard.
Werewolf!
Honey mustard.
No!
Honey mustard.
Thieving!
Lemon pepper.
Rat boy!
Honey mustard.
But we do have a recent interview here with the game director, which is talking about the romance options that you're going to be able to have in the game. And of course, all the urinalists have already started coming out and trying to beg and demand that Ciri be made gay. I'm surprised they're not trying to make her trans at this point because they so desperately need to see themselves. They so desperately need to see their activism in every game that they play that the moment they saw that a character is bisexual canonically, they're going to go all the way to the gay side if they're given the opportunity to. So let's get into this article, guys, from Fandom Polls. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Sebastian, the game director on The Witcher 4, recently provided an update on how the upcoming game will handle romance options, given Ciri is the main protagonist. Speaking with GameSpot, and I do find it interesting, really quick, I do find it interesting that CD Projekt Red is going everywhere right now, having all these interviews with different, mainstream outlets talking about different aspects of this game. And it's very clear that all of this was obviously ready to go. They wanted all of this to kind of go out there and have people talking about the game, both positively and negatively. And I'm sure it's been confirmed. And in one of these articles I remember reading, it was confirmed that they already knew that the backlash was coming their way by making Ciri the main protagonist. So they kind of had all of this plan ready to go. So that way the PR spin could be as wild as humanly possible with the amount of time that they had. They want to get all these interviews out there ASAP, so that way they can kind of disappear for the next year or so until eventually they come out with the game. But it says that the executive producer, when asked, says, when it comes to romance, what can fans expect? Will there be any in The Witcher 4? I think it's stupid to ask that, considering that it's The Witcher. There's always been romance, but you never know. Kalemba responded, absolutely. It's a part of the way we make games. It is a part of human nature. It is a very normal thing. Without that, I think we wouldn't be able to tell the very full story. Midrega added, it's an important part of life. Kalemba then concluded, but as always, we want to pay a lot of attention to it and make it super compelling and very meaningful. So it's not just to make a romance for the sake of making a romance. That is not the CD Projekt Red way. Now, again, I don't understand why they would even question whether or not there'll be romance in the Witcher games, considering that all of them had it. So it's very clear. I don't know if these journalists even played the original games, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think they're essentially asking this question in the hopes that the director will be like, yeah, you can have all the gay sex you want in this game. That's really what it is. They're trying to fish for a certain comment that they know is going to get them a lot of clicks. These comments are already being taken out of context by Gabe's journalist, MD, what the fuck kind of name is that, at Game Rant, who claims that the shift in protagonist offers developers freedom to explore non-traditional relationships, setting high expectations for The Witcher 4. What? Oh my God, bro. Are you serious right now? So the shift is, so because it's now a female protagonist, now you can have the opportunity to do gay relationship. In fact, he also writes, this is because Ciri being a protagonist of The Witcher 4 could offer more freedom to the developers as they will no longer be tied down with the lore of the books. This is also an opportunity to break from standard heterosexual relationships, which the franchise has revolved around. Listen, I totally get it. It's not like I don't know why. I don't know if they're acting as if there wasn't gay characters in The Witcher before. But in terms of Geralt, yeah, Geralt obviously loves his women. He's supposed to. That's just what it is. And now that they're seeing that Ciri is the main protagonist, they're like, yes, finally, we can go muff diving. This is going to be great. This is what I was waiting for. I've been dying to be gay. That's really what they're trying to do. It's so sad, man. It's sad that Ciri is going to be reduced to this activist version of herself where everybody's going to try to use her for their own advantage in one way, shape, or form. And it really sucks. It does. Then it says that former Kotaku journalist Alyssa Mercante has already beat the drum as well, claiming Ciri is bisexual. Mercante wrote on X, if anybody wants a piece about Ciri, her powers, and her bisexuality from a Witcher expert, I'm right here. Do you guys really think that Alyssa Mercante is a Witcher expert? I'm being honest here. Like, I know it's a rhetorical question, but like, do you really fucking think that Alyssa Mercante is a Witcher expert? Just like she claimed she was an expert in other video games and has never really played them. So like, are we really trying to buy this here? She essentially went gay feral for like months upon months with a crew of they, them, anarchist thieves, Mercante added. Then, much of this stems from a single dialogue option in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. When Ciri is taking a steam bath, she's asked about a man named Skull who fancies her and what she thinks of him. The player is given 3 options to choose from. He's not half bad, seems nice, to tell the truth, I prefer women. It also comes from the second and third novels by Andrzej Sapkowski, Time of Contempt and Baptism of Fire. In Time of Contempt, Ciri is R-worded by a girl named Missile. In the book, Missile prevents Kaylee from R-wording Ciri only to do it herself. Sapkowski wrote, Ciri shuddered beneath the touch of the dry, hard, rough hand. She lay motionless, stiff, and tense, full of an overpowering fear which took her will away, and an overwhelming sense of revulsion, which assailed her temples and cheeks with waves of heat. Kaylee slipped his left arm beneath her head, pulling her closer to him, trying to dislodge the hand which was tightly gripping the lap of her shirt and vainly trying to pull it downwards. Ciri began to shake. Missile then interrupts and threatens to cut Kaylee with her knife. Kaylee then got up and left. However, as noted above, Missile takes his place. Missile lay down beside her and covered her tenderly with fur, but she didn't pull the disheveled shirt down. She left it as it had been. Ciri began to shake again. Her hand was smaller than Kaylee's, more delicate and softer, more pleasant, but its touch stiffened Ciri once more. Once more gripped her entire body with fear and revulsion, clenched her jaw and constricted her throat. To be clear, Ciri is 15 years old when this happens. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God. Anyway, so the entire thing is, again, later down the line, I believe Ciri ends up having something with Missile later down the line, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if the article actually covers it. In Baptism of Fire, the abusive relationship continues, but Ciri also makes it clear she's had enough of Missile abusing her. So, yeah, so she ends up having some sort of an odd relationship with Missile down the line, only, for later into the story for her to essentially fall in love with a man. I forgot his name, but she falls in love with a man and they have like a little bit of a shindig there. But yeah, she has canonically slept with both males and females. And keep in mind the context of the story, okay? Like, it's pretty damn wild when you really read these books. But yes, we already know that. So ultimately, Ciri being canonically bisexual is one of the things that they're going to utilize to go massively far with it, right? They're going to stretch it as far as they possibly can with this lore. And I'm sure that the developers are going to make her have more female relationships than male relationships. That just seems to be the pattern that they're probably going to go here. Whether or not that actually ends up happening, we don't know, because we haven't even seen gameplay, right? We haven't even seen anything aside from a trailer. But still, pattern recognition is a thing, and you could pretty much assume that things are going to get pretty damn gay from here. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate if you get to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.